Absolutely. I can set myself a to-do list and a schedule of audits, for example.
Yeah.
You know, we've got hundreds of audits to do over the period of a month, but I can set myself certain numbers of audits to do each day, but they can be pushed back if need be, so I can control when I do them and how I do them. Can't control someone going AWOL or someone going off sick, unfortunately. Can certainly manage the sickness absence when they come back and make sure that we're doing everything we can if we have to make any adjustments and things like that. But there are things, as you say, that you can control, but some other things are just completely outside of your control. You just can't do anything about them. Okay, in my experience, and I've had to have quite a few of these conversations, as you can imagine, I always make sure I've got all my ducks in a row. I've got all my evidence. I've gathered evidence. I've observed what's happened, as much as I possibly can, and I make sure that I've got everything there so that if the person challenges me or refutes what I'm saying, I can say, well, actually, I've got the evidence here. You know, it's being prepared. Make sure that you're well prepared, and it's really natural to keep putting it off because it's probably the worst part of the job, having to have these conversations. And I think
kind of two schools of thought really about what you would do as a new manager working in a new role. Some people might say, well, don't really do much for the first kind of 30 or 60 days. Other people might just go straight in there and start trying to solve all the problems straight away. Where would you sit in there? What's your experience?
I think you have to try and assess as quickly as you can, and that comes with experience. I think you have to think, okay, all my plans that I had written out are out the window. I need to rethink what I'm going to do here. I need to listen, watch, and just sort of... And I said, I'm fully aware that you're both very, very good friends. You go on holiday together, etc., etc. However, we need this to be left at the door when you come in the morning and just become colleagues at work. It's having a detrimental effect on the rest of the team and the residents. It's seen as favouritism, and we can't have that because everyone's equal in the team.
Sure.
There are no favourites. I don't want you to cast her out, you know, so that you never speak to her again, but be professional. And it's about maintaining those boundaries, professional boundaries.
Sure.
You know, don't come down too hard on her just because you think that's what you should do. Be fair. And it's about maintaining fairness and equity among all the team. Treat everybody alike. I've had feedback from team using e-learning before, and they're like, yeah, didn't really take anything in. It's not until you actually sit physically and explain, well, this is what it meant. So I could see myself having to watch these courses and then reteach them myself in team meetings or in huddles, which defeats the purpose, you know, because it's going to take me away from what I need to be doing. It's going to take the team away from valuable time with the residents because they have to sit and look at these screens and tick a box. In a care setting, you'll never, ever get perfection. There is no such thing.
No.
You'll never fully eliminate risk. What you can do is mitigate it and manage it. There will always be an element of risk, and you have to learn to live with that and keep it under control.